Well, in this video for this part of my Colorado trip, I'm going on the Pikes Peak Railway. This is at the end of the trip, and with the magic of editing, you'll see the beginning of the trip in just a few seconds.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome aboard the Broadmoor, Manitou, and Pikes Peak Railway. How we doing? Oh, come on, we can do better than that. How we doing? There we go. At this time, I do need everybody's attention real fast for a quick safety briefing. In the very unlikely event of a water landing, your seat can be used as a flotation device. Just kidding. We got 3 simple rules on board today. Rule number 1, anything that you would like to take back to Manitou with you. This includes wallets, keys, sunglasses, arms, legs, fingers, toes, feet, and especially children. Please leave inside the train at all times. Rule number 2, this aisleway here is known as the conductor's aisleway. When I last checked the manifest, there's one conductor on board, and that's this guy. So if you're not this guy, please stay out of the aisleway. We also ask that everyone remains seated for most of the trip. When we get up a little bit higher, there's going to be some places that you're definitely going to want to pop up and take some quick pictures. That's absolutely. I'll have everybody back for our 2021 season. As many of you know, in October 2017, we shut down for 3.5 years. It was time for some renovations. The generous funding from the owner of our parent company, Mr. Phil Anshin. That's been absolutely no expense to bring our railway. We're very creative with our names here at the Broadmoor, Manitou, and Pikes Peak Railway. So much so that we like to call that one Diamond Rock. time it's my very distinct pleasure to welcome you to the top of America's mountain Pike's Peak. Welcome to 14,115 feet. Give yourselves a hand.
Oh boy, it's chilly up here. And there's the car we rode on, number 19. And going to the visitor center in just a moment, which is behind the camera. Here at the very top of Pike's Peak, at the practically new visitor center. This is by no means what it was the last time I was here. I'll show some photos of me on those tracks, or at least that location last time. Now we're down near the platform, the original Summit House from 1873, before the railway was here. But a couple of years later, they built the railway. The earliest locomotive was built in 1890, and since then they have replaced most of the equipment with diesel hydraulics from Switzerland. And there is the end of track. Right here is roughly where I stood the last time, and I will show you that photo as well. It's one of my favorites. And spectacular views. If I remember correctly, it was right here that photo was taken, right at the edge, before they replaced everything. All new track, all new engines. But I'm sure you're probably just as interested in all the... Please focus, camera, thank you. All of the great views and terrain around here. And let's take a closer look at some of the undercarriage of these cars. These are quite new. I will put in a date of when they're actually built because I don't know. So the front or end wheels are the ones that actually have the cog on it, it looks like. Yep, there's the cog in the rack. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 points of contact for this. And proof that they're from Switzerland. Swiss Locomotive and Machine Works. And on track 2, we have car number 18, or at least double car number 18. They're semi-permanently coupled sets at 18 and 19.
The front end is really hard to find. We can only go 12 miles an hour.
It's around this time on every journey I get lots of questions about the braking systems on board. I'm not quite sure why, but I'm happy to inform everybody that there's not one, not even two, but 3 different braking options as we head down the mountain. Daniel's going to start with our dynamic brake. This is our one and only hydraulic brake. It connects directly with the cog wheels to hold us right to 8.5 miles an hour on the way down. But in the event that our dynamic brake needs a little bit of assistance or we need to come to a complete stop, we do have our 2 mechanical air brake options, our transmission brake and our ratchet brake. So we shouldn't have any runaway trains today.
Look. number 25. Car number 24. See the switch move.
Lower Mountain View Society.
I think this is the steepest part of the line.
Let's see, where's level at? That's level. I think they're at here.
That's level.
New locomotive, trains. Look, this is our brand new 26-ton locomotive snowblower.
Ow, man. What a piece of equipment.
26
Once
ton.
again, guys, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for choosing to join us today. That thanks doesn't just come from Daniel and me, but it comes from everybody on the track crew and in the shop, and everybody at ticketing and the gift shop, and everybody at parking and management as well. We all thank you so much. At this time, I'm happy to welcome you back to Manitou Springs with our local time as 1:10. Once again, we're going to wait for the train to come to a complete and final stop. We'll know when we hear the horn, which is kind of hard to hear for some people. So if you can't hear it, that's okay. If the doors are open, you're all right to get off.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. There's still a bit more to go. So, after a few minutes in the gift shop, I'm going to go down to see 2 more Cog Railway locomotives. Also see my video about locomotives in Arizona and one about the Colorado Railroad Museum from the same trip for the other Cog Railway engines. So, stay tuned for more locomotives. Here's the first Cog Railway engine. Manitou and Pikes Peak Cog Railway number 2. Built in 1890, is one of the first 2 engines for the railway. The first engine is at the Colorado Railroad Museum currently. This was built 1890, later rebuilt into its former condition and design by about 1893. It has been donated to the city of Manitou Springs in 1940 and has been on display ever since. There's one builder's plate that says 1923 on there, and then over on the smoke box it says 1893. Right near the Broadmoor Hotel in Colorado Springs, Manitou and Pikes Peak Railway number 5, 1901 Baldwin locomotive, built for the railway in this configuration. Retired about 1955 and donated, became part of the Broadmoor Hotel.